Has there been some massive news in the crypto space over the last day? The answer to that question is yes, and you're in luck because I am going to break it all down for you today. Guys, I'm bringing you a new news video every single day up until the next 2 years so that we're all informed as much as possible in crypto. As we should all know, if you are a veteran in the space, you know things can literally change every single day, so it's important we stay up to date on the news at all times, and that is what I'm here for. Make sure you subscribe with the bell on. You do not want to miss any of these videos. With that being said, let's get straight into it. So of course, I want to take things off by just having a quick glimpse at the overall market from a bird's eye view. Now, Bitcoin up about 2% right now in the last 24 hours. That's not too impressive, but what is impressive is we are teetering on a $44,000 mark that we hit earlier on this month. And again, it's quite impressive. We can break above the $44,500 range. It'll be quite impressive, okay? It'll be on the right track. And I do believe part of the news I'm talking about today has to play a part in this surge. Now, Ethereum, not too good. $2,200, being pretty stable around this price range, as you can see here. We do have some altcoins pumping up quite a bit. Now I'm going to go up to here. These are the top gainers for the last day. IOTEX, never heard of it before in my life, but Near Protocol, definitely heard of this one. Definitely heard of this one. Was pushing Near Protocol now for the last, God knows how long, probably 15 months. I bought most of my bags in at $1. So if all of you did a similar thing, you'd be up quite significantly right now. Solana is $86. Avalanche is up as well. Polkadot as well, $7.50. And Immutable X, we do touch on some Immutable X news today as well, and near closing in on the $1 range. But what about the top losers? Well, the top losers are basically the top gainers from basically earlier in the week, right? Helium, Injective, ICP, Celestia, they have been on a massive tear recently. And again, this is why it's very important. You do not buy the top. You do not FOMO in. You wait for moments like this to dollar cost average if you absolutely need to. So with that being said, first bit of news today actually comes from Polygon. And it's not direct news. It's not news that we have to know yesterday, but it is news to keep on the horizon because you're going to want to stay up to date with Polygon here, because what I'm about to tell you is, of course, an indication of its future success. Now, Polygon right now is about 78 cents, as you can see. Not the best time we could have bought this project in the last 12 months, but like I always tell you, right? Pick apart where the price is right now on CoinMarketCap and the gray line that is produced. Ask yourself, what percentage of the time were we at this level and below in the last 12 months? If your answer is 100%, well, then that's bad, right? Because you're probably looking over here. If you're looking at about 50% or lower, that's not too bad, right? So about here, we're at about 40% or so. So basically, if you close your eyes and pick a point in the last 12 months, you would have basically 40% chance picked a point cheaper, which again is a good time dollar cost average in my opinion. And therefore, I think that Polygon right now isn't as sort of sought after as what it really should be, okay? We can see over here, they're upgrading as a part of their Polygon 2.0 to change their ticker from Matic, as we all know it, to Pol. Now, while this might not be a massive bit of news in of itself, right? They're just simply changing their gas token, the staking token, and the token in general. What it symbolizes here is a future upgrade, right? What we're looking at here is the progression of Polygon morphing into this value layer of the internet, in which what they describe in their sort of Polygon 2.0 outlook. Now, that's already pretty much come out here, but what I'm trying to say to you guys is, make no mistake, Polygon is likely going to be one of the top, if not the top king still, of layer 2 solutions in the next bull run. And with some of these massive features coming out and integrations with like Celestia, for example, it's going to be one of the fastest and cheapest networks in the entire space, bar none. Okay, so keep your eyes on it. Now, it's not to say as well that it really should be undervalued, right? Transactions are actually going up for Polygon as well. They've pretty much been averaging at about 2 million per day, and we've seen a massive influx, as you can see over here. If I kind of zoom in a little bit more, we're pretty much now averaging around about 5.5 million a day. So we've seen some massive influx in demand, yet the price hasn't, of course, gone up with it. I think it's only a matter of time here before we really start to see the price increase. And again, this is very similar to what I was saying with Chainlink. They had their CCIP upgrade, a massive upgrade I was telling people about for a long time. And of course, what happened? Well, when the market eventually started heating up, people latched onto that as a big new upgrade, even though it was already out for a few months. So this is the same situation I see happening with Polygon here. Keep your eyes on the lookout, and don't forget, guys, Polygon in the last cycle was over a $20 billion market cap. And again, it was a lot less significant than what it is right now. A lot has changed since. Currently only a $7.4 billion market cap. We've got some pretty big upside happening here. Now, the big news of the day and why I think Bitcoin's up and why I believe we are about to have a bust about to explode is the ETFs are coming right around the corner, guys. Yes, this is an old bit of news right here. Yes, we've seen more updates, but I want to tell you, these are 13 ETFs on the horizon here, spot ETFs for Bitcoin, as you should all know. Now, I get it, right? Everyone's talking about the Bitcoin ETF news. I get it. I don't want to spend too much time on this, right? But it definitely is important to keep you updated. Bitcoin ETF issuers pushed 3 crypto ads in the last 48 hours. Now, it actually was 2. 1 over here from Hashdex and 2 from Bitwise. Now, why this is important is because the fact that they are marketing themselves and advertising, which, as we know, Google has opened that up to the Bitcoin ETF issuers, is that what does that indicate? They're trying to get themselves out there. They are trying to get people interested in their spot ETF. So again, it is a sign of things to come, I do believe. And not just that, we also have a few updates with meetings. Grayscale has had a recent meeting with the SEC themselves. And we've also seen BlackRock has confirmed their ETF ticker. IBIT is the ticker now. And they also have accepted the SEC's terms in which going to an in-cash model, right? So they've moved away from another type of model, which is an in-kind model. Basically, in-cash means that they can only sell and buy in to Bitcoin with cash. Typically in-kind models, which is the preferred model, you can sell and buy in with Bitcoin. Makes a lot seamless, and you can have people then, buying and holding in non-custodial ways. A lot more flexibility, basically, and you can earn things back, of course, in Bitcoin, in cash. It's a lot more simple for the SEC. I believe it's just sort of like the first step in a progression of eventually going to, of course, in-kind models. It's quite interesting, right? Because Mike Novogratz also had a little bit to say as well. He anticipates the ETF approval happening by the 10th of January. And if we come down here as well, Grayscale CEO says that they must do this simultaneously. They must kind of approve all of them, or as many as possible, at least have up-to-date meetings and sort of criteria alongside the SEC's regulations happening all at once, right? So there will obviously be, or at least I think the majority of the 13 issuers here will have their ETFs out. Now, again, whether it happens on the 10th of January like these guys predict, or happens in the last possible case, March, I don't know. I definitely think based on these advertisements and based on, this progression and all of these, I guess, meetings, right? I think it will happen in the 10th of January here, but I think worst case, it will happen sometime this year, and March will be the next date for that, as seen over here. Now, I want to make one thing very apparent, though. With all this bullish news around the ETFs, I want to say, guys, Van Eck over here, a $100 billion asset manager. These guys are going to issue their own Bitcoin ETF as well, and these guys have many, many ETFs out in the world. They actually predict only about $1 billion worth of funds coming into Bitcoin over the first few days or few weeks. And overall, over the next 2 years, $40 billion purchased of Bitcoin through these ETFs. So we're not talking about hundreds of billions, enough to basically send Bitcoin to the moon. We've got to kind of bring our reality down a little bit. And this has definitely helped me with, hey, maybe the market might actually tank slightly, realizing that we're not going to have this massive influx of people buying ETFs like we actually perceive, as grand, as amazing as this sort of update really is. So keep yourself aware. I'm not saying it will have a crash. I'm not saying it will go parabolic. It could happen either way. I'm just saying there is a chance that people lose the hype factor because we just don't have as much money invested in Bitcoin as everyone perceives. So with that said, the third bit of news for today is on the front of games. Now, a lot of games, particularly Immutable X games, have some sort of connection to Epic Games, or at least being launched on the Epic Games Store, Guild of Guardians, and of course, Illuvium. Now, they have actually changed their stance recently here on crypto games because they flagged crypto games as adult only for some reason, right? Don't know why, but they have since changed their, I guess, criteria and to kind of allow blockchain games to actually be launched on Epic Games Store, which is, of course, really good. It's interesting because, again, games launching on an Epic Games Store, for example, on the Epic Games Store, will have a lot more precedence to the general public than what a game that isn't, of course, on that store. So, with that said, the last bit of news today is going to be regarding gaming as well. Immutable X launched their Passport. Now, while it doesn't seem like really big news, Passport is like one of their flagship products here. Like, Passport makes Immutable X so damn good. Now, part of the features of the Passport here kind of solve a lot of the siloed problems games and gaming networks have had in the past, right? Particularly here, cross-game and cross-platform solutions. You can use your one Passport in any of the games built on Immutable X, which of course solves a siloed problem, right? You don't have to create 100 different wallets on all these different games. Also, additional features as well, ecosystem support, it's non-custodial, very big feature. Instant confirmations, which is part of the reason makes Immutable so good, and also mainstream UX. So again, it rivals these ones over here. It's just amazing, right? So it's a very big upgrade, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've seen Immutable X kind of recently pump up over here. 5% on the day, 10% on the week. So we're in a bullish momentum right now, but Immutable X just seems to keep on going. It was at one point over a $3 billion market cap. And again, look, if you don't know what Immutable X is, get yourself up to speed. You're literally crazy if you don't know what Immutable X is at this point. They are pretty much the #1 gaming network out there, bar none. They're planning on tackling, of course, the massive gaming industry right now, and Web3 gaming is only a small fraction of that entire market. Again, people like, oh, Immutable's $3 billion market cap, it's way too far gone. I'm telling you right now, just get an idea of how big the market really is, and some of these flagship games that are launching on Immutable X, it's just going to draw so much attention, and people are even going out there saying we're going to see between $100 billion and $1 trillion just in the gaming narrative alone in 2025. And of course, that also is validated by what Van Eck said as well. They have 15 predictions out there. By the way, I made a video on these predictions. I broke them all down for you. I'll leave the link down below. They basically said over here that one title game will launch and have 1 million daily active users. I'm hinting at possibly being Illuvium in this case. And they also, by name, say Immutable X is most likely to become a top 25 coin by market cap, currently at rank 42 with the release of a few of their games, and the fact that they do have a well-designed token that aligns with the user interests better than most. Now, Immutable X is currently ranked 29, so it will definitely break the top 25. It may even break the top 15 when we have a gaming narrative as well. So keep your eye out. Very important upgrades happening here. And again, having your pulse on the market will allow you to be one step ahead of everyone else, which is by far the most important thing in crypto. If you're even a day or two behind the news, you are going to lose money. With that being said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video if you're hearing me right now and made it this far, and I'll talk to you all soon. Take good care. Bye.